You're kicking it with G on your favorite station.
The perfect station.
92 KELZ, the only station with new music, new artists, new sound.
Yo, we are back in this thing, man. It's another Thursday. You're kicking it with G Casa on 92 KELZ. But today it ain't raining, though. That's a good thing. It's been a long week, but we back in this thing. Today we got Vincent Baldridge in the building. How you doing?
Everything good. Everything good.
Good, man. We want to get right into it. So, you're coming to us to talk about Black Tie Company, your mobile bartending and beverage service company, as well as your cafes, Pina Cafe.
Correct. Pina Cafes. Pina Cafe is a branch off of the Black Tie Company in my foundation that I laid since 2001, technically. But I've been going into homes, residential, since 92.
Yeah.
Making drinks, I started in. I was doing it in just to make ends meet, but didn't know at the end of the day it was going to turn out to be what it is now.
You said since 92?
Since 92.
Oh, you've been in the game for a minute.
A minute, man. I can make a drink blindfolded, man.
Hey, that's what you need right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But so just to back it up a little bit, like how did you get into that? Like how did you start that?
Working in the country club, bartending at the country club. I started working at Columbia Lakes Resort, which was owned by Tenneco. So I had some guys just to take me up under their arms, man, some old school guys, man. They used to ride the train back in the day, the 40s, 50s, 60s. They used to ride the train from, like, New Orleans to New York, and from San Antonio to L.A. or wherever the location may be. Yeah. And they were at the country club working also. And so they took me, man, and guided me and gave me some wisdom to, hey, this is the way to go. The hospitality industry, go down that avenue, man. It got many turns on that avenue, you know what I'm saying? You'll never get to a dead end,
so
you know what I'm saying?
So did you know, like, I'm coming into this thing, I want to do mobile bartending, or did you kind of, like, get around a group of guys and you saw a bunch and you was like, you know what, I kind of think I could kind of mold this thing a different way?
Well, what it was, man, when they started back in 90, 91, 92, when they started to build the bigger homes and the gate-guarded communities and things of that sort, the requests from the members at the country club, and they're entertaining and inviting friends and families over. Yeah. So it was a request, Part of it was the home, to show off the home. And say, hey, Vince, would you like to come over and bartend? Why not? I need some extra, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Some extra cheese. So that's what I did, man. I started with a doctor. His name was Mark Coulter. He's from West Columbia, Texas, the same small city where I'm from, population probably 3,000 people. But he was a member at the country club, which was owned by Tenneco at the time. And so always, the 4th of July, I remember, man, like it was yesterday, it was my first event going to someone's home. It was the 4th of July in 1992. And I went to a little barbecue they had and everything, and wow, man, I guess the rest is history. That's where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying? So I started there at that country club, Columbia Lakes Resort. I went from there, I went to Sweetwater Country Club because I had a friend of the family to go to Sweetwater. And so he was able to, shake my hand and say, hey, we're going to break bread with you and we're going to bring you with us, you know what I'm saying, because of the wisdom I had for what I've learned from them older guys, and so he knew, hey, you'll fit in good with our team. And so then when I went to Sweetwater Country Club, I was able to just move that over like a chess game and say, hey, the resources there. I'm thinking the whole time the resources there. So I was like, okay, well, I can do the same thing I did for them. I can do it at this country club.
So when you started this in 92, how old were you when you started this?
I was 22.
22. That's still rather young, but that's still also a good age to find out what you want to do, to try to go down something. Were you doing anything else besides that at the time?
No, not at the time. I was waiting tables. But actually, before I started bartending, I was brung in. Like I say, I was schooled by some old school guys. I was brung in to do side table service, which was a art that's almost lost for a service. Like going to a restaurant, what we would do, we would dress up the carts like you see in a fancy restaurant in New York, San Francisco. They still do it now. A couple restaurants here in the Houston area does it.
And it's called side table service.
Side table service. You prepare the drink from right there at the table. From the drink to the appetizer, from the appetizer to the salad, from the salad to the main entree, from the main entree to dessert, from main dessert to after dinner drinks. Everything was done at the table.
So you stand right there the whole time at that particular table.
And conversation. And put on a great show for the members or their guests or family.
And this was this only particularly for beverages, or was this you serving everything?
No, we're preparing everything at the table, from beverages to salads, to entrees, to desserts,
That's different.
to after dinner drinks.
I can't say that besides like a hibachi grill that go and cook something in front of you, I can't say that I had a side serve with somebody sitting there doing the beverages, talking to me throughout the whole time.
Right.
That might be kind of nice.
Actually, it's very nice. It's, especially if you're entertaining. It's something that it's a art that's almost lost. I mean, you can't go not too many places, but you can go to some high-end restaurants and high-end hotels, and you can get that service.
I had to ask you this question because I just got a question. He said, ask him if he knows Charles Robertson. My grandfather was a member there for 30 years at Sweetwater Country Club.
Charles Robinson. The name rings a bell.
I know that was I was talking, but just for somebody to hear their grandfather and then it just Sweetwater.
I left Sweetwater in 03. I went from Sweetwater because I had to gain more knowledge. I had to up my game because in 03 I was helping entertain more at people's homes, and that's when I was getting help to help me entertain as far as bar and beverage services. So, but one thing I didn't have up under my belt, I didn't have the knowledge of wine. So I was like,
so it is a craft service. So it is a whole bunch. It ain't just going in there mixing drinks. I done got my mobile thing on. You got the. It's a.
No, the more knowledge you have, the more money you can make.
Correct.
So that's where I was with it, and I processed it all from the many years, from 92 to 03, 2003. And I said, man, I got to up my knowledge because I was getting many requests for wine dinners at residential. While people bring in, they clear out a couple of rooms and they set up tables and, they entertain their guests with wines. That's when the wine market was like starting to boom at that time. And so we were going into people's homes and we were setting up tables with wine glasses and pairing wines with different entrees or appetizers and things of that sort. And I was like, okay, I'm in the forest. I'm just following my crumbs, but so I said, man, I gotta get my knowledge together in reference to, learning learning more about wines. And the only way I could do that was to put myself in a position where I could learn and get it done for free, on the job training. Best thing I ever done.
I was say you can't be there.
Best thing I ever done. On the job training. So I left Sweetwater Country Club in 03 and I went to Lakeside Country Club. I had a friend managing over there. And so he told me, hey, man, if you want to learn wines, come. We got a wine.
So when you transferred from Sweetwater to Houston, when did you get your first break, or when did you see yourself breaking into the industry as well as you did in Sweetwater?
Wow. I think it was at Sweetwater. It was at Sweetwater when I seen my vision was at Sweetwater when I was working there. And that's one reason why I say, I got to go learn more about wines. I know about alcohol. I know the history behind alcohol and things of that sort. I know how to make a cocktail, a classic cocktail. I can go back, to pre-prohibition and prepare drinks and things of that sort. But I didn't have the knowledge of wine. And so I had to hurry up and, get that knowledge because the requests were coming in, and so I couldn't go there blank. They paying me to know, and so the only way, hey man, the check's on the table, you know what I'm saying? So let me get this knowledge, and that's exactly what I did, Yeah, but it was at Sweetwater. I seen it during the Enron era. Had a lot of Enron guys at Sweetwater Country Club. Prior to Enron, you had the lawyers. You had the doctors. Again, they were building them homes, man. They were trying to build up, that community itself. And so they're entertaining. So, man, that's where I come in at. And the thing about it, how I named my company Black Tie, the guys at the country club, I used to work. Then after I finished my shift, I was going to their residential, and, man, I was knocking out drinks, what I'm saying, 100, 200 people, 50 people, 20 people. It didn't matter. And I was putting myself in a position. And so, the next day, one of the guys said, hey, man, want to come to my crib, help me entertain these guys, prepare some drinks, and pair it with some food. And I said, yeah, we'll do it. And so I went there. So I was already dressed, in my black and white, you know what I'm saying? And he said, man, we should just call you Black Tie. Every time we see you wearing that black tie. And so I grabbed it and I ran with it, and that's what I named my company in 01.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah, in 01, I did that.
Everything following right behind each other.
Yeah, and hard work too, man. You know what I'm saying? prayer without hard work is zero. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah. Real talk there.
So you got your mobile bartending service up and running and going. You came to Houston. It's already connected through different people. So now you branch off and you start a cafe.
Yeah, what I did, and it was in 2000, and let me be exact. It was 2013. We were providing beverage service for Group 1 automotives. I was doing their car shows. I was doing for Group 1 Cadillac, GMC, and the Lexus dealership. So the opportunity came and said, hey, would you like to, this is what we're going to start doing, Group 1, as a owner for our clientele inside the dealerships. Would you like to put your proposal in? I was like, okay. I do it. And the reason why they come to me, this what they tell me, because of the service that we provided for them in the past for probably 4 or 5 years. And so what I did, long story short, I put my proposal in, and boom, boom, boom. I think it was like out of 21 proposals, everybody wanted to, grab that piece of the pie, and I was like, okay. But I never thought, I was going to be the guy. I put my proposal in, got a phone call, hey, we love it. Let's do it.
And just like that, there it was.
And I said, hey, I'm bringing the paperwork to you. All I need you to do is sign it, Yeah.
But that's a blessing, though, man.
Yeah, it's a blessing, man. I tell you, and the good thing about it, again, it go back to my training back from them older guys that were giving me that wisdom and knowledge. That's totally separate. The Peanut Cafe, right? It's something different, but it's still in the hospitality industry. It's on that avenue, right? So I had to prepare myself, for that, which I did prior to that, and I didn't know it, but I had that knowledge. So when that opportunity came, I was ready.
See, and you've been actually preaching that for I the beginning of the whole interview, of soaking that knowledge up from people before you. Like, that's a big thing. Like, before this interview, of course, me and you didn't know each other before this interview going, and I've seen the work that you've done. Shout out to Girls Will Give, because without Girls Will Give, we wouldn't have came together.
Right.
And you do a lot of work for us, giving back, trying to do the same thing that was given to you, spread that knowledge and move on.
Right.
Like, has anybody ever tried to come to you for more knowledge, or try to see the things that you're doing and just ask for help?
Yes, I have many people to come to me, and and the main thing they ask about that start. And I tell them right off the bat, it ain't easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to strike out more than one time, but you got to keep swinging.
Gotcha.
That's the main thing, because some people get kind of like, disgusted or whatever, because they think it's going to come together. Quick and easy and fast, because a lot of times when they ask a question, I guess I make it look so easy. I don't wear my emotions or feelings on my shoulder. And so I make it look easy, and they come and I say, hey man, it's hard work. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to hit the floor running, you know what I'm saying? And you can't give up. And have faith in what you do. And the main thing I tell anyone, man, that knowledge, man. Feel yourself full of knowledge, and you gotta like what you do.
When you so whenever you was faced with those tough times and those tribulations, like, is there anything particular that you did to pull yourself out of that dark space?
I just kept the faith, and I kept working at it. There's been several times that I wanted to give up and throw in the towel. You know what I'm saying? I had the towel in my hand one time, I guess that was in 08, 09, when the little recession, when Obama was in office. You remember right after Bush? It was tough. If I remember correctly, on average a year, we do probably 52 events a year.
That's bad. That's at least one event a week.
Yeah.
About.
On average, we do 52 events a year. And what had happened out of that, out of 52 events in 08, 09, it went down to 17. So I'm looking at it, and I'm putting all of it on a scale, and I'm weighing it out. Be like, oh, wow, that's a 90% drop, you know what I'm saying? But due to the economy, due to the environment, but I still stuck with it, you know what I'm saying? I stayed with it. I didn't give it up, because again, I have a craft that's my passion. At the end of the day, okay, I got the cafes. Okay, I just started this year in January. I just started a little small vending machine company. So we got the vending machines now, but the bartending part of it was like, this
That
my
was the
thing.
meat, though. That
Yeah,
was the
yeah. And
bone,
I wasn't gonna let it go. I held on to the bone when it wasn't any more meat.
Yeah.
I held on to the bone, and I'm still running with the bone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, with that said, I mean, at that time was probably one of the lowest times for the bartending business because I didn't see us coming out of the dark. So I was saying, wow, man, how long will this last?
Yeah.
I was strong enough and I had prepared myself financially and everything, but still, I still wanted that business, but I was able to, ride them 2 years out, ride that wave out 08 and 09. Then when 010 come, if I remember correctly, when 010 come, boom, we right back at it, doing it all over again. So, that was probably the lowest, man. The lowest I've been for is bartending.
That's big.
Yeah.
And just to say you holding on to that bone got you, was it in 2013 you had the award-winning, the mixer?
Yes, award-winning cocktail. I attended a San Antonio cocktail conference. Every year they have a bartending contest. And I entered the contest in 2013 because I felt I was ready. I felt I had what was right and ready to go. And obviously it was. Out of, I think it was 51 bartenders. I come out on top, long story short.
So how you prepare yourself for that?
Wow, man. Again, for me, because I'm comfortable behind the bar. So getting in front of 1,000 people preparing a drink is nothing to me.
Nothing.
Yeah, I can do it blindfold. I've been doing it so long, So, but what I did, though, to prepare myself for that event, knowing that this is what I need to win, my right-hand man, which is Douglas Reyes, I want to give a shout-out to Douglas. Him and I, we sit at his home 2 days prior to me going to the San Antonio Cocktail Conference competition. And so we already had our mixer. I already had my mixer, but we had to perfect it. So, man, we sit in his kitchen maybe 2-3 hours, man. Family went to sleep and everything, man, and we put that mix together. We found all the right ingredients, the right touch to make it a perfect cocktail for a perfect season.
How do you know what's perfect in a drink? Because everybody's taste buds is different.
Right.
Like, you just be like, like, when you said preparing, I just imagine you, like you said earlier, being blindfolded in the room in the dark, you back there mixing, getting prepared, you doing two or three rotations a day.
What I did, I used my taste profile that I have for myself. And what I did, I wanted to make, the contest gave us several beverages that we can select from. And what I did, I selected the Sailor's Jerry rum, the spice rum, because I said I want that spice, that spice rum with a Caribbean cocktail, So what I did, man, I went in, Douglas and I prepared the mix. We prepared it fresh from scratch, nothing from the bottle. We prepared it from scratch. Once we prepared it from scratch, we bought the selected alcohol, the same alcohol I got you today, and we tested it probably about, I'm going to say 20 to 25 times that night prior to me leaving his home. Several different drinks. I took drinks home. They were tested. I had friends that tested drinks, and just getting their feedback on it. And they feedback, I use it as a guide, and I put it on a scale, and one outweighed the other. And I made a small change to it after Douglas and I did it the very next day, which I think that secret ingredients took me to the top.
And now you got an award-winning mix.
2013 Spicy Kiss, San Antonio Cocktail Conference champion, winner. Yes.
Yes, winner. Let's put that.
Yeah, winner. WINNER.
So, have you thought about getting any more competition? Doing anything? Let's take it to the next step. Let's just not stop in San Antonio. Let's keep this thing rolling.
I have, but it's what I have going on now with the cafes and with this. The bartenders have a tour, just like anybody, like a golf tour.
We still got that bone, though.
Yeah. But it has been times I wanted to get back in it and make some certain cocktails because I get all the information all the time. Being a member of the United States Bartenders Guild, the Houston chapter, for probably 8 years now. You get that information. Hey, let's hey, you want to go make a sweet and sour? cocktail, or you wanna make a old fashioned, you want to do a Manhattan, with a twist. You can't invent any drink. I'm gonna be honest with you.
You can't invent no new drink.
No new drinks. All drinks have been made already. From all the research I've done, from all the times I've been behind bar, from all the old school people I talked to, some of the best bartenders in the world from New York, San Francisco, and you go back to the day even from our brother Thomas Bullock, which is the first African American to write a recipe book in 1920.
Jules, listen.
I was able to go back and gain that knowledge and read his articles and his recipe book, and I'm saying to myself, wow, the mojito, it was back in the 1920s, pre-prohibition. You're getting the whiskey sours and pre-prohibition. You're getting all them drinks prior to, they trying to stop, alcohol sales in America. Then they come back with it, the speakeasies, you know what I'm saying?
So our whole palate has been done. No new taste, nothing.
No new taste. It's, man, if you do your research, look, the alcohol been around a long time. One of the things they used to do in the past to prepare alcohol drinks is different from what they do today. Today, we get everything in a bottle. It's prepared in a bottle. Back in the day, they prepared it from scratch. If they want their mojito mix, they take their mint and they make their mixer. If they wanted their berry mix, they'll take their berries or whatever, similar to what I did, and make their mix from scratch. So it's nothing. Oh man, if you do your research, there's no new drink. Only new thing I know is the Red Bull added to drinks. I mean, on the real, it's something you shouldn't do, but people love it because of the taste. And it's something that they do now.
That's something to know, because I was even thinking about hopping into trying to get a white label, try to get my own little liquor or some spirit done, and then you saying it ain't no point because it's already done.
Well, if you can find a market for it, if you can find someone to push it, great idea. The market's full. But if you can find someone that'll take you to the edge and then from the edge you go to a certain place, it's all about who you know and who's behind it.
So do you believe all cocktail mixes have been bottled?
No.
Because I feel like that's a lane. If it ain't in a bottle, you're going to get it at the bar. If you put it in a bottle, now you can get it everywhere.
No, all cocktail mixes haven't been bottled.
Ideas, people.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, that's one thing I have on the back burner for is a Spicy Kiss mixer. We're trying to get that out. Let's do that. Even if we have to put it in a can, what I mean?
It get cold. Cans get cold
right,
too.
Cans get cold too. Yeah. And again, it'll fit the occasion. Being in Texas, that drink is prepared for rum. It's prepared for the summer months. Same as like a pina colada, strawberry daiquiri, or something like that. But that's where we're trying to go with that mixer. So
I'm speaking real futuristic. So can we see in the future a mashup, Black Tie and Pina Cafe together as a whole full restaurant? Its own brick and mortar.
Man, I don't usually give my secrets away. You know what I'm saying? I try to hold on to them. Yes. In the making.
Because it's only bound to happen.
In the making. Yeah, it's in the making. I have plans now that, every day I think of something and I note it. And right now, as far as that, we're at the beginning stage of it. My bar, that's where I'm headed with it, to combine both of them as one with a different name, but it will be branched off of Black Tie Company.
That's going to be big. I'm ready for it.
Oh, man. Hey, drinks on me, man. Come through, you know what I'm saying? Actually, the name is something different, Ebony and Mahogany.
We ain't even driving on that. Y'all forget that. Don't even remember on that.
Yeah, but it's coming, though, when you hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's where we're at with it, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, man, I thank you for coming, man. It was a great interview. Before we leave, I want you to give people the information where they can contact you if they have any questions, where they can get in contact with Black Tie Company, even get in the Pina Cafe.
Cool. You can contact us, man, at the website itself is www.blacktiecompany.com. The Pina Cafe is www.pinacafecompany.com. You can go to Instagram, it's Black Tie Company CO. You can get us on Facebook, Black Tie Company CO, period. And you also can contact us at the office if you have any questions that the websites haven't answered, man. You can contact Amy Martinez, my assistant. She's the best in the world. You can give us a call at 281-302-6029.
You're kicking it with G on your favorite station.
The perfect station.
92 KELZ, the only station with new music, new artists, new sound.